So this is a squat day that just happened, and I'm gonna call this the redemption squat day. So even though it wasn't absolutely perfect, it was just so much better than what I experienced last week. Last week I had to go in late. I did like a 5:30 p.m. workout, and granted, like I had driven a long way and hung out in the hospital with my best friend. He's going through cancer treatment, and I'm just there supporting him. And so like my body definitely wasn't in the best condition after all of that. But the bigger factor that I felt on that day was like I just didn't have my normal crew. I had Trinity there, but like she was doing her own thing, and Tomas was there. He's actually probably the strongest lifter in the gym overall. I'm second to him. It sucks, but like nobody was feeling good, and so like the vibe was off that day, and so it really affected me, which was a good moment to just take some time for me to realize and be grateful for what I have in this gym. A lot of my training partners are also my clients. Some of them are not. And it's just no matter what, like most days I walk into the gym, I have an amazing crew around me who is bringing good energy. They're working hard. They pay attention to what cues that everybody are working on, including me. You know, I might be the strongest guy in the room, but I have cues that I'm working on. Like right now, I'm taking on straight bar again in the gym. This is something I haven't done in over 3 years because normally I would get bicep pain. And so like the cues are just very different on the new bar. So everybody was helping me do that today. And it just changed everything. Because the truth is I woke up really tired. I didn't sleep well. I almost feel like I'm starting to get sick. Hopefully I'm not. My coach put me on to a long time ago taking zinc and vitamin D and vitamin C. And the zinc in particular really seems to help with my immune system. I used to get sick all the time and I would miss the gym because of it, which would suck. But yeah, so even going in not feeling 100%, this squat session ended up feeling great. So this is my last warm-up of 495. Working on a couple things there, definitely depth. Really trying to work on a cue that I learned from Thomas Lilly, who coaches Colton Eckenbrook and, some of the best lifters in the world. And he talks about twisting your quads out. And it's funny because I was talking about this with one of my strongest clients, Charlie, and he was like, why don't you just say open your hips up? So the thing about just saying open your hips up is like if I told somebody to open their hips up, they could do 5 different things. They could just shove their knees apart. They might widen their squat stance, right? Like if you just say open your hips up, it's not very specific. That was 633 right there. That was my heavy single for the day. Depth was much better on that one. I also filmed from the side back, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I, screenshotted it. And I was happy enough with where it was. Then we have a series of back downs you're going to see. So this was 550 for 5, then it's going to go to 530 for 5, and then 508 for 8 reps. But yeah, working on that opening up the hips cue by twisting the quads away from each other. This makes the hips stay under the bar better. You create an incredible amount of torque in your hips that should stabilize you, which is a big thing for me because a lot of times you can actually see after I unrack it, sometimes my hips are moving under the bar, like left to right, which could be a core stability thing and it could be a hip torque thing. So we're working on both. All of these back downs felt good. Of course, as they got lighter, it was definitely easier to get more depth. And I'm okay with that. Because if I keep working on that and building volume at that better depth, working on those cues, that's huge. Also, the first, and I think last week was the first day with a straight bar, one of the first things I had problems with was the bar like wanting to roll down my back. And it's interesting because I have a lot of clients that have that problem, and I don't ever work with a straight bar, so here I am giving cues that I wasn't even all that familiar with. So I had to go and figure out that, you kind of want to do a lat pull down with the bar, but what's tricky about that is if I say that out loud, you're going to think I'm pulling the bar down with my hands. It's not with your hands. It's like doing a lat pull down from the elbow shoulder position. So you can almost just say pulling the shoulders down and back, and it really makes a big difference. But yeah, this felt great.